it. Okay, so we're looking at the euro dollar over here, and again this is live in our trading room today on the 29th of November, and we're coming up to, if you can look at the time at the bottom, to 9 AM Eastern time. If you look at where we are here, this hourly bar is about to close. And what we talked about today, earlier on in our trading session, is this base over here and trading it to the downside based on what was happening. We did this ahead of time, what was happening on the dollar. And if you look at all the clues here, we said the dollar from this base, we're looking at this basing area, was most likely going to break out to the upside, and we said this ahead of time. And without going into all the finer details, but one of them is when you have a base over here and you have this peaky boo below the base, this is a clue that we're going to break to the upside. And you can see where we're targeting this area over here, which means that if you're shorting the euro, we said on the target on the euro short will be, well, we're kind of in a target area here already, which is the demand below, but potentially we could go down to 1.03. But you can also see that we're in demand here on the 4-hour chart, so that may not happen, but there's a possibility. So in that being said, our initial move to the downside. But what I want to do now is focus on a trade from yesterday that we went over and we actually took in our trading room yesterday, which was when the market was up here. And what we did, and I'll show you how you actually do that. If we go back to yesterday on the 15-minute chart, this is what we had around the market open, which is 8 AM Eastern time of the Forex market. And we were waiting here and we saw that this market is going down and moving up again, and we saw also that the price direction at 8 AM Eastern time was likely to close to the downside. This is 745 bar that closed at 8. So what we're looking for is a move to the downside, which is what we got here. We got what we call price direction to the downside. So that was your entry. This was your kind of stop. We said to put it above this area, just slightly higher, and above the 80 fulcrum area, and then look for a move down. We said it's probably going to bounce off this 50 area because there's demand here. It will bounce and then continue lower. And I was looking to target, if we look on the hourly chart, at least initially, because you don't know when you take the trade how far it's going to go, but I was looking to target this area as a day trade. So that was my target area around on top of here, which was quite a nice trade. It went a little bit more bounce, and then today you can see it's going to the downside. So that's a trade that we took in our live trading room, as you guys remember yesterday. And the picture of I'll show you the picture of the actual entry was here. This is taken, we took this picture in our live trading room yesterday, and this was our entry, exactly what we said, with the stop above this area. That was the risk, and this was your first target area here and the second target area down here. And that was quite a nice trade. It was ended up being like a 3-to-1 trade, which was like 20 pips of risk for around 60 on the downside. Around about, it was a bit more actually, 80, but kind of averaged out. So that's kind of what we were looking at. We were looking at the market here, which looks like you should be buying a pullback, but we can see from what actually happened. So this is how it played out, and then this is what happened later. I always take a picture of the exit, which was this. Oh, where's it gone? Where's it over here? So here, this was the kind of the exit. You can see that was the entry. Exit 1, exit 2, just above this area. You can see, as I said, here. Now I haven't got a picture of what happened next because that was the end of the trade for me. And that was the entry, target 1, target 2. And I could take a third picture, which would be how the market played out. If we close this and close this, this is how the market played out. So I'm getting out like here, and the market carried on going down. So I could have gone a bit better, but again, you don't need to get the whole move. But that's most of the move from here down to here is around maybe 3/4 of the move, or 2/3 of it. But that's good enough, especially with the reward to risk. And you've got no idea when it comes down here. It could have run all the way back up again. But in this case, it went down. So that was basically our trading room trade that we took yesterday. And what we talked about today was looking at how this base was likely to break to the downside. And we also see, again, if we kind of very strict on our levels here, this is demand to here. So this is where, if you can see at the top level, where we have a problem. We also have a general rule of an extended move that breaks below demand. We're going to get a snapback, which may be an opportunity to take this, to wait for the move up and then take another move to the downside. So if this bounces back up here, we may be able to take another move down to this area from up here. That may be a better trade than taking on the breakout. You don't want to trade breakouts after an extended move to the downside. Most often than not, that's not going to work in your favor. Sometimes it will, but most often than not, you're going to get a snapback like you're getting here. Okay, so that's pretty much it for today's session. And for those of you watching this part of the recording on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this and maybe consider joining our trading room or our weekly preparation session. And I'll leave links below the video on YouTube for you to kind of join. And yeah, also, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and then you'll get more of these videos. I'm going to try and put out at least once a week a trade that we take in our trading room. And again, this is recorded at the same time as our trading. I usually record it, but I've got another recording going on just specifically for YouTube. But this is completely live from a trading room, non-edited. It's exactly what we're saying in our trading room right now. Okay, talking about the trade and the markets. And if you want to see how we read the market, as it's playing out in real time, not after the fact, how we read it and how we understand which way the market's going to go, then come and join our live trading room and watch us on a day-to-day basis, how we navigate the markets. And then you can learn by watching us how to do the same and hopefully and ultimately improve your trading results. Okay, that's it for YouTube. And let me just